Hey you guys, this is Linda with Express Yourself English Institute. Thank you for joining me on another week. Today's class is going to be about vehicles and the prepositions that we have to use. So we're going to be solving that mystery. We get a lot of questions from students all the time about the prepositions in and on. So I'm going to be sharing my screen with you so that we can talk about the rules. And then I'm going to be giving you some examples and an exercise, okay? So let's go over the rules first. We have in for small vehicles or private ones. When you're talking about a car or maybe a taxi, we're going to be using in because they're small vehicles that you are actually sitting inside of them, okay? On is for larger vehicles and usually public vehicles that you can usually walk in. So this is an example. On a bus, because on a bus, you are sitting, but you can also walk in there, right, to get to the exit. Okay, so that's what we use on for larger vehicles. There are some exceptions. For example, a bicycle or a motor bicycle, because you are on them, but they're small vehicles, right? So we have to use on. Okay, so let's go over an exercise. The first example is on an airplane. Why? Because it's a larger vehicle. Now, it's very important for you to know that English has a lot of exceptions. Sometimes you think you understand the rule and then they come out with these weird exceptions. So some large vehicles like an airplane can also use in. Okay, so let's be careful with that. Smaller vehicles can be in a race car, for example, or in a regular car. And then we have helicopter. This is one of those examples that are exceptions. So it's in a helicopter because you're actually sitting in it, but it's on a helicopter because it's a large vehicle. This doesn't mean that you're traveling on top of it, right? But it can also be used. So it's just an exception that I wanted you to know. On a school bus. Why? Because same thing, right? You can sit on it, but you can also walk in it. On a bicycle, this is the exception that I was mentioning in the previous screen, because it's a small vehicle and it's actually not even enclosed, but you're on it, okay? You're riding it. Now we have a rocket. The rocket is a very large vehicle, but you're actually in it, okay? In a police car. It's a small vehicle. It's a vehicle that you're sitting in, and it's a small one, so it's a police car. And then we have in a fire truck. Same thing, the cabin is small, people are sitting in it, so it's in a fire truck. Now, if there's a firefighter who has to be on the hood of the vehicle because maybe he's taking some material out or something, then he's on the fire truck, okay? Another screen, we have on a horse. It applies the same way. It's a small mode of transportation, but you're on it, okay? On a ship, it's a big vehicle. It's a large one. On a bus, it can be the same as on a school bus and on a regular bus. On a submarine. So this is also an exception because you're in the submarine, but it's actually a very large vehicle. So you can also use that preposition if needed. In a truck, even if it's a work truck or a pickup or an SUV, so you're going to be using in. On a train, because it's a large vehicle, and whenever you have like an enclosed vehicle like a submarine or a train that has those squared cubicles, they usually use on. Finally, we have in a taxi car or a taxi cab. They call it cab in some countries. And finally, in a camper van. Why? Because yeah, it's a large vehicle, but you're actually living and traveling in it, okay? So if you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section. I will be more than happy to answer them. And I hope this helps to understand a little more when to use each one of the prepositions and also to understand the exceptions a little better, okay? Thank you so much for joining me today. Remember that we have one-on-one classes and also group classes, so you can find us on our social media. Please contact us if you're looking to start English lessons soon, okay? Have a great day. See you next week.